Good afternoon, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka. Welcome back to the afternoon stream show. We do this every day here, Monday through Sunday. We'll bring you the latest in terms of the weather. Unfortunately, news is on the busier side today, so they won't be with us this afternoon. So we're just going to keep it all weather, and I can give you a quick update on the forecast here headed into the weekend and that alert day that we have in place for the start of next week. So here's a look at what we're tracking. We've got a light band of some spotty showers that's continuing to work in from the west. A lot of it is breaking up and dissipating as it moves through, so a lot of us aren't really seeing much in the way of rainfall, but we'll hold on to that chance for a spot shower or even an isolated storm here through the first part of the evening before we dry out overnight tonight. And then looking ahead to the weekend, we'll be mainly dry and warm out there both Saturday and Sunday, looking fairly nice. And then we start to flip the switch a little bit headed into Monday. We'll have another storm system moving in from the west, and it looks like a lot of the storms that we're expecting may be moving in late Monday night and into the overnight hours. And again, Monday has that severe weather potential associated with it. So here's a look at what's going on outside right now. We've got this area of low pressure kind of just sitting up just to the north of the northern plains, and out to the east of there is where all the frontal boundaries are. So we've got this cold front sliding in from the west that's kicking up some of those spotty showers here across the tri-state right now. We could take a closer look here within our counties. You can see we had a better band set up to our west, but as they push in from the west, they are kind of fizzling out and dissipating. So we may get some light rain here in areas like Posey, Gibson, Vanderburgh County, extending down into Union and western Henderson at the moment, but as that pushes in from the west, a lot of that will be fizzling out. But we may still see that chance for a few more pop-up storms out ahead of some of those showers. And again, we're not expecting anything severe through the rest of this afternoon. So here's what this looks like through the rest of the night on our in-house model. As that band pushes in from the west along that cold front, we could catch another spot shower or a storm there, mainly on the eastern periphery of the tri-state, and that'll kind of clear out of here through the first part of the evening. And then most of us stay dry overnight tonight with partly cloudy skies, and then waking up early Saturday morning. Some clouds out there, but then we should turn mostly sunny through Saturday afternoon. Here's a current look at those temperatures. A lot of us warmed up into the mid to upper 70s. That's where many of us sit at this hour. 76 in Evansville, 76 as well in Henderson and Owensboro, sitting at around 77 down towards Dundee. The cold spot on the map up towards Fairfield at around 68. That's where the cold front has actually made it through. So we're seeing some of that cooler air working in from the west. And headed into tonight, temperatures should drop down into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. Can't completely rule out a stray shower or a storm in through the first part of the evening, but we'll be drying out overnight tonight. And then looking ahead to the weekend, mainly dry and warm. Temperatures hang out in the upper 70s for both Saturday and on Sunday. Mostly sunny skies are expected, but as we get into Monday, that's where we start to see things change. We've got that frontal system that'll be moving in from the west. So we've got that alert day in place, but most of these storms will be moving in later Monday night, possibly even into the overnight hours. And where we stand now, it looks like all hazards may be possible. And in terms of our risk, not a whole lot of change from what we were looking at yesterday. They have expanded that level 3 enhanced risk just a little bit farther to the east here. Yesterday, it was mainly confined to southern Illinois. It does now include some portions of southern Indiana and even into western Kentucky, but this will continue to shift around a little bit over the next few days. So continue to stay tuned for the latest forecast. But here's a look at the longer range European model and what it's showing up for Monday. So we'll have a warm front lift to our north Monday morning into Monday afternoon. That'll provide that warm, moist air from the south. We'll stay mostly dry on the day on Monday. It's really not until Monday night that the showers and storms get their act together farther off to our west, and they'll be pushing in from the west here. Now, some of the models do show it weakening as it pushes in from the west, but we still hold on to that chance for some of those severe storms. So this is still evolving here as we get closer. The details will become a little bit more clear, but as far as our severe weather risk, not much has changed from what we were looking at yesterday. So severe weather still definitely possible there on Monday with all hazards, including damaging winds, tornadoes, and even hail can't be completely ruled out. And that cold front will clear off to our east headed into Tuesday, but it's going to kind of set up a track for a couple of more systems to move through by next week. So we may still see almost daily chances for a few showers, maybe a storm there through the middle and end of next week, but it doesn't look like a washout by any means. Now, in terms of rainfall amounts, this has continued to trend downward over the last couple of runs. So this is our 5-day rainfall forecast. Many of us, at least through the start of next week, should be picking up anywhere between an inch, possibly up to an inch and a half in some locations, especially if you get caught in any of those storms that we're expecting on Monday. But unfortunately, it still doesn't look like we'll have a good soaking rainfall, and that's really what we need to help bust us out of this drought. You can see much of the tri-state included in that moderate drought area, with areas across western Kentucky that have been upgraded yesterday up into that severe to even extreme drought. So we definitely are in need of the rain here, but looking at your 7-day forecast, you can still get out and enjoy the weekend. It is going to be pretty nice, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures topping out in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, and then we've got that alert day on Monday, and that's primarily for Monday night with those storms moving in later in the day. Temperatures top out at around 82 ahead of that cold front, and then behind that front, we drop down into the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday, and then possibly down into the 60s by the end of next week. So we are trending on the cooler side to round out the work week next week. So if you've not been a fan of all the heat, you do have at least a little bit of cool weather relief on the way. Unfortunately, it does look like the coldest day will be associated with some rain by next Friday. Let me go ahead, take a look at some of the comments, see if I can answer any questions. Good afternoon, Jeanette. Good afternoon, Christina. She's watching from Muhlenberg. Jeanette has said Poseyville's seen a couple of drops. So yeah, we were seeing that light band of rain moving in from the west, just pushing over the Wabash River. So a few drops possible here over the next few hours. So we're not really expecting a whole lot of rainfall across the tri-state, which is unfortunate because we definitely need it. James says he feels like by Monday we'll be in a level 4. Seems to be how it works with storms coming in overnight these days. Well, it is yet to be seen. Unfortunately, we don't have an in at the Storm Prediction Center, so we don't know exactly what they're going to be outlooking us for, but we can look at the models ourselves and we can deduce that there's at least the ingredients there to produce severe weather on Monday. So that's what we're looking at. That's why we've got that alert in place, and of course we'll always bring up those outlooks for the latest information from the Storm Prediction Center and kind of nail down the timing and each specific hazard here over the weekend. So make sure everybody's staying tuned and you guys are prepared for any events that we do see. We do have that severe weather risk on Monday, kind of one of the few we've only had so far this spring. We've really missed out on most of the action. A lot of it's remained off to our west and to our north. So make sure you're still freshening up on your severe weather preparedness plans, making sure you're knowing where you're going to be at the time of any storms that do move through and where you're going to go in the event you're placed under a warning, specifically a tornado warning. So that's the things you can start be thinking about through the weekend to prepare for Monday. And it looks like Williams got a rainfall report for us, Trace here by Bossy Field. Thank you so much for that. But that's all I've got here for the forecast. I'm going to hop off the live stream and I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 4, 5, and 6 for the latest news and weather headlines. We'll be right back here at 9 o'clock tonight for the all-weather streaming show and then back on air at 10. So until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your evening.